Hello everyone, I'm LW. Yep, Mr. Latchbar. I'm probably very familiar looking. So my discussion is all about exercise and how you feel about exercising. So we want to make sure that everyone is aware that I am not a professional and you should seek professional advice prior to exercising. My conversation in reference to exercise is all about my personal experiences, which I would like to share with you. So, what we pointed out most recently is our behaviors and what we need to do in order to prepare ourselves to exercise. We need to rid ourselves of our bad habits. And as I had indicated, exercising is not for everyone, but it should be. And the only ones that really should be excluded are the extreme elderly, whom they could stand some exercise to, but maybe not so strenuous. And also those that are disabled. So the rest of you don't have any excuse. And we will talk about it. I'm only here, however, to encourage, not to discourage. So the first thing that we need to do is make our minds up whether we want to exercise or not. And if you do, you want to make sure that you are taking the right approach. Number one thing, keep in mind nothing happens overnight. You must put effort into whatever you're doing in order to gain any benefits. So we're going to start off and we're going to point out those contributing factors which have got you into the condition that you are in, whatever condition that may be. And what we're going to do is we're going to outline all of those. I'm not going to do it. I'm not writing it down. That's your job. So pick out all your bad habits, like sitting on the sofa, drinking a beer, drinking a soda, eating ice cream and cake, eating potato chips, eating an enormous amount of peanuts, cashews, what have you, eating cookies. So, we're all guilty of these things, including myself. So what you have to do is eliminate them from your reach. And if that means not buying anymore, if that means having someone hide them from you, whatever that means, you need to do it so that you can control your habit. Once you get control of your habit, you're ready to begin. In fact, you can begin exercising even if you don't get control of your habit, just so as long as you have self-discipline. Most of us don't have self-discipline. Try it. Try eating one cookie. See if you can do that. Try eating maybe 5 potato chips. See if you can do that. If you can, that means you do have some sort of self-discipline. And that's great. That's great to get started. Now, we want to look at how we want to exercise. And that, I mean, what are we going to utilize to exercise? Are we going to exercise with your body resistance? Or are you going to exercise utilizing some type of equipment. So you need to make your mind up so that you'll know exactly what you're getting ready to do. Keep in mind, exercising can be very, very painful. Okay? I didn't want to say it, but we all know exercising can be very painful, but it's only painful because you overdid it. How about that? So, trust me, if you exercise the right way, you won't be in any pain. Maybe some mild discomfort, but not in any serious pain. So whether you are walking on a treadmill, running on a treadmill, riding a bicycle, using an elliptical machine, if you're jumping rope, if you're jogging, whatever you're doing, make sure you're only trying to do what you're capable of doing. Don't try and match what someone else is doing. Even if you're lifting weights, if you're using resistance bands, whatever it is that you're doing in order to exercise or to get in shape, so to speak, don't try and match what someone else is doing. Test your own abilities and make sure that you do not exceed your ability from the very beginning. Okay, once we've gotten that established, now you want to know how much time you want to put into your exercise. So, your time means also you could be overdoing it, so you don't want to overdo anything. You want to start off very gradually. For example, if you're using a treadmill, start off on 1 is definitely too slow. Unless you never have done this before, start off on 1. Don't be ashamed. Start off on 1 and just do 5 or 10 minutes to get yourself used to what you're doing. I'm serious. That may sound like nothing, but only do that amount, but do it multiple times a day to make sure that you're not overdoing it. So then gradually increase your efforts as you increase your stamina. So the next day that you don't feel any discomfort. So if you're using a bicycle, start off with 5 minutes of riding that bicycle because 10 minutes might be too much. So you want to test it out to see what you can do before overdoing it. It's the same thing with anything else. If you're starting off on an elliptical, do the same thing. Test out how long you can do it prior to getting too tired. Okay? You don't want to fall off the machine. So, if you're jogging, use the same application. Jog very slowly until you can feel that you're getting somewhat tired and set your limits that way. So, once you get started, you want to repeat what you're doing on a daily basis every day. And if you have to do it multiple times a day, make sure you do it multiple times a day also. Because this way, you'll end up getting some benefits. And we all want to see some benefits. So, our exercise is good for achieving our goals and promoting good health. Those are the most important things that we look to do when we exercise. So let's take, for example, you have high blood pressure. I have high blood pressure. Like I told you, I'm no different from you. However, I approach things very differently because I know that for the most part, it's going to take a humongous effort for me to get off my medication. But you can lower your medication. You can lower your medication with consistency of working out and proper dieting. And you'll find that your blood pressure will maintain the range a lot better. You'll also find that you'll start to feel a little better daily if you work out somehow and you stay on top of what your numbers are. Don't wait to go to the doctor to find out what your numbers are. That doesn't make sense. Get yourself a monitor. Doesn't matter whether you're young or old, as you call it. I'm an OG, fine. Get yourself a monitor so that you know what your blood pressures should be and are. Don't wait until you go to the doctor for the doctor to tell you that you have high blood pressure. These are simple things that we can do at home to check our health. And even if we don't exercise, we should still have a monitor so that we're on top of what our health is. Now, it's a little bit more difficult to check your sugar level if you're not a diabetic or diabetic, however you want to say it. There's methods of learning how to do these things. I am not familiar with that process. I am not familiar with how to check my cholesterol. I know that the doctor will do that for me. And that's why you need to establish a doctor's regimen also. So, we're getting closer and closer to exercising because now you've started to think about what you need and what you are going to use to exercise. And you have a lot of different options. You can self-exercise without using any equipment at all. You can also exercise using equipment. Equipment being weights, resistance bands, treadmills, elliptical machines, jumping rope. Whatever you choose, that's what we'll discuss. And what we want to make sure that you do is you stay on top of what you're doing consistently. So daily, you want to create a regimen and you want to follow it. So I want to say thank you because we're running out of time. I don't want to hold you too much. I know you have more important things that you need to do than listen to me. So I'll look forward to seeing you next time.